Angels of the Lord riot against the quiet and show their fangs, surprise to the saints. All of heaven is changing, evolving and changing and different. The angels are itching, their wings in feathered disarray, as in littered on the floor, and missing, while the clouds are thinning, sinking in these doomed days. The riots broke out just some small time ago, when the last of its clean blood, the emergency stash, couldn't last the duration this war's horrible mask. There were fights over it, what to do, how to use. Divided sides make picket signs and die in the first famish. Held them proud over their halos, saying utilize or banish. But when the ongoing misery does not come to end easily, this sparks a tug-of-war destiny for power and awareness. A civil war home front with Arden, the rope-fraying taunt told they'd harvest her sick blood or give her the old shove out of heaven. Because, indeed, they all agreed, at the very least, that this thing they did say she'd begun the slow change in color, a change from a holy glow to a more vicious ruby gray, alike to that of a burn, maybe. More over that than our measly little prayer girl's cheek or staring allegory telling in the making. Now the others are saying, to the one called Arden, whom atop the scaffold is shaking them, an angry mob crowd waking, their wings graying and saying, creation has no use for bastards like you. She gags, her own glitters and tars, laments. It wasn't supposed to be this way. For them, they are claiming, with eyes dark for shaming, how she's the one for whom's cause their ill and pain, lost God's love and gained shame, and all this insane when she's theirs to explain for. Arden, the mutant docile savage in AI bloody form, and who is to take the bullet for this horrible mistake that heaven has made this time? It all happened so fast. She's a danger to the dignity of grace. He's screaming, Michael, that is, his wicked authority, vengeful, tightening, words on their throats stops all the pure to their hearts and sends them into seizures of agreement. She's going through it all like a chain of events in absolutism and fact, her head hung low as she considers her past. And it's so much so like an empire's collapse or veins caved in, captive, snaring the poor little thing called Arden, unprepared, and for whose purpose in creation was to be a destructive invention or secret intention was anyway. Hell, they're saying, but not without a little branding first. Waiting for. Tell me, what are we? I feel sick. I feel sick. Tell me, what are we waiting for? Misstep leads the quiet, quiet before explosion, explosion before the fallout. So what are we waiting for? Taut, anti-curiosity, spinal flow lobotomy, an approximate intoxicate, fighting thought biocracy. Agency to control me, mark my skin, wear and own me. I'm caught, captured, spread open by this very moment. So replaceable, the moment. So viable, the moment. I bite fingernails into palms, so valuable, the moment. Today I tried to climb the sky, but each cloud gave way like smoke. I hope they never find me here, and my bitter confrontations with the mirror. I am the invisible man. I used to see myself so much clearer. Begin to scratch the surface, and you may dig down to bone. I only want the blood. Sometimes I think my eyes soak up light for no other reason than a genetic predisposition, and all to make the next moment matter. But what's it called thinking? And what's it that matters when right is just some spectrum's left side continuumed, and left isn't really left at all, but just a many directionless place mark for probable, ponderable possibility. She's a stillborn of the night, enshrined by the passing of time. The turning. Sleeping heart, the angel's mark of innocence and glitter starts. I tell you here in slumber fear that earthly glow comes ever near. We are that what ventures past the gates heaven cannot contain from what God for the curious had made. Fault stains our skin, branding us as rejects from the galaxies wholly together. I tell you here in slumber fear that earthly glow comes ever near. Blessing, loving, being, trusting, begins to grind your sharpened teeth. The eyes tint red at night in bed you pray your soul to keep. But oh, little do you know, you've lost your grace, your winged soft soul. Yes, night becomes a welcomed friend you beg to see. Again, glitter begins to burn your skin. The songs and hymns you cannot sing. Eyes on you, you feel them judging what they cannot love or understand. Shh, my darling, I have a plan. Take my hand to a foreign land and let go. You begin to wonder what's up down below. The clouds, the call is loud. How to reach the ground? Fingernails curling black, your lips as red as your attack. A fury built inside you now. You could not help but size up the crowd. Loud, that night, an endless plight that madness could only describe. But by morning light the fights were left to the stars. And the moon in her swells could not quell her bloodlust, goes the lore. So out went our angel, but she was caught at the door. At heaven's gate, they called her insane, but maybe that's what she's doing it for. Creation is the center of our being, seeing nothing but its endless sprawl. By the word of the Lord the heavens were made, their starry host by the breath of his mouth. It's been said, destruction is a form of creation, and a vampire is a creature of destruction of the soul. Well, if destruction is masquerade creation, I say God's creation is destruction too. Goblins. What is it to miss a soul with no body, and nobody is home yet? It's all hollow inside these bones, missing a piece, a part to keep from crumbling down to your feet, where I bow before the ground. I bestow to you. How many would do what I reckless and hopeless, an air of endangerment, spinning me faster, and I fell for wicked scent. Laced with my poison, the bodies dance along. If only my fear to be were not my fear to come. Teach me, fear. It ticks like the bombs. It moves like a snake. It takes us along. Can't take a life for an out. Teach me what it's all about. Teach me past my angelic doubts. We're bitter battle fighters, soldiers of a burning cross. A storm to the disciples, testing morals, cathedrals scoff. Set the scene, cloak yourself, hide your face. Bite your tongue or choke your neck. The results are all the same. I'm worship. To the emblem, to the product on the shelf. I am the trouble in the altar, and I forgot to call for help. Well, let's all say a prayer on the horizon. As it fades, more takes its place. So unlike my feeble sanity, I see them, I fear them. I think and paint my face, I need them, I'll be them. Who will send their son for me? Who will send their son for me? I break and bleed, I'm on my knees. Who will brave the sins of me? Because I can't be the heaven or the angels or myself. Bless those who bother breathing, for they take the hardest test. And please bow your heads and lift your hands and pray for me. I fear I am changing and giving in, it seems. But as above, so below, as within, so without. Scars on the interior of the soul mar landscapes, destroy homes, bankrupt childhoods. I write these words with a stake to my heart, intent the pen, cold blood the ink. On borrowed time I dare to think back to heaven's gate like white picket fence lives. I've destroyed too many that weren't mine. Cool realizations, hot hell underfoot, beckoning me closer to brimstone and soot. I was banished by the heavens, welcomed by the devils. The in-between served apathy and monetized, incentivized, told nothing but lies to control their lives. As the universe, so the soul. Destroyed your thoughts to be alone, but no. Creation is the very essence of my soul. Chaos destroyed, left with nowhere to go. Choice as the weapon, nothing to do. The night or heaven's spite, which would you choose? The silver went rotten in the innkeeper's home. The moment I strolled in and stole beauty's soul, said, what kind of devil doesn't damn every part? Asked, what kind of bloodsucker doesn't drain every heart? Baptize the living child, the splendor of the low country, the crick, the cricket, the crawler's bloodlust wicket. The village got wind of me and couldn't contain their stares. The horses went rigid. This kind of angel was rare. And the dead abandoned creation in favor of true illumination. And the way became a sensation, at least with their sorry lack of information. That this kind of angel was rare. Do you know the bayou's glory? Black skin glistening stretched around the ancient soul. Do you? Do you? I've got voodoo dust in the curls of my hair. A dull stare couldn't care at this state of ill repair, so beware. This angel's glare is rotten rough and everywhere. Do you dare ignore the vampires that have made your dreams their lair?